Hello, everyone. Hello, and thank you for joining me. Happy holidays, everyone. Hi, this is Caesar Zeus, and hi, everyone. Happy holidays. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. This is an incredible time. This is holidays. So I wanted to say happy holidays to my tribe of shamans out there. And so, hey, everybody. Oh, it's so great to see you guys here. Thank you so much for being here. We are having an amazing holiday this year, right, Cis? So we're gonna be enjoying this journal and this holiday season here. So whatever it is you're celebrating, be it a solstice, and so for shamans, this is actually a very important solstice because it's the darkest. So this is when we go into the dream time to create the spring or to dream up the spring. Energetically speaking, when we talk about energies and all of that stuff, that what we're doing here. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about just mainly to just say thank you for being here this year. And I wish every one of you the most happiest and the most joyful holidays coming up. To everyone, whatever you celebrate, New Year's coming up. Happy Hanukkah to everybody. Hanukkah, whoever celebrates Hanukkah. Christmas, Merry Christmas to those of you that celebrate Christmas. It's just celebrate you, whatever it is, that whatever culture, but for us shamans, we celebrate this because we talk of solstice and how the solstice connects to all this. So I've got my Hyperborean sister here with me. So we have our own celebration and stuff like that. So I don't know, my culture it's mostly it's not so much Christmas is not celebrated until January 6th in where I was born, but I've been here and celebrating Christmas for a long time. I don't want to say how long because it's gonna give away our age, right? Sees. So anyway, I'm gonna start with a little bit. So I have to have a few toasts. So I got my wine here. So it's 5 o'clock somewhere, you guys. So we're gonna be drinking some wine, but I also got some peaches here. No, it's apricots again. Apricots, okay? So apricots, I want some sparkling water with some apricots because I was running around, you guys, today. My Christmas this year is just surprisingly so good. I can't even tell you how great it is, right? So we're gonna actually with C's, before we do that, we're gonna do something because today, what is today? Today is Dancing in the Eye of the Storm. This is the title for today's journal. So we're gonna dance with C's. I can't hear anything because my music's off. Hi, C's. All right. All right, you guys, dancing. So we're going to dance a lot this year. So you guys, Let me get some water. Actually, so this was the song. I hope you guys heard it. But that was the song that I was dancing to today a lot. Okay. So welcome, everyone. Okay. So you guys, I'm going to talk today a little bit about 2020, continue about that vision and what's going to happen and how we're going to see our world changing and how the clarity is going to help us to celebrate each and every one of you will celebrate your own unfoldment of your own soul. And so this would be the year to celebrate that, because it is your eternal being that is unfolding now in this reality. And this is what ultimately the new Aquarian age been prophesied. It's been prophesied as this new, utopian age, but it really is about being able to create that what we want. And so I feel that in 2020, and this is what I talk about, that those of us that are shamans and do the prayers or the intent for the energies and for the spiritual growth for humanity. And so this is the time during these 3 most darkest nights that we can go as deep as we need to go to pull that energy so then we can unfold it in the spring. So then this is the work of setting an intent for your eternal unfoldment for the next year. And so this is why I say, if your intent is like mine, to do something that is to celebrate this growth and all of these things that we've been through. And we need to start to intend, because we now know through healing and through attaining self-awareness, and now we understand that our soul unfoldment is here, and this is what ultimately is your path here is all about. And then whatever it is that you do, it's all unique to you. Like I said, whatever it is, whatever part you play, it's not more like part you play or how you use your tools or how you contribute your energy to the collective, because we are stepping in what this is new age is all about, and this transformation or quickening. All right, Sis, you don't want to hang out here with us and my Hyperborean sister? No? Okay. All right. So what we're gonna, for shamans, so this is for you guys, my tribe, my sisters out there, those of you guys that have contributed in the past, because most of you have been creative and worked in this spiritual world all of your life. And so I know that for a lot of you out there right now, it's like what I talk about is clarity. And then for a lot of shamans out there, is what is it that we need to do about this clarity stage that's going to come up for humanity? And so that's why I talk of this as like prediction and future and future, because that energy is already there, it's present, it like all possibilities. So what shamans do during this period is pulling those possibilities from what I say, from this depth, okay? Depth, okay? So we're going deep to pull the possibilities for collective humanity so we can initiate that in the spiritual world. And that's what we do when we understand, or when we stand in our eternal being as a creator being. And this is what I talk of when I talk of a creator self. So you stand in your eternal beingness. You mean, and you stand in your eternal light. So that's why when I talk of ascension into oblivion, because all of the ascension teaching, they do the opposite. They actually pull you into oblivion of the collective. So it's like the other end is the oblivion of the space dust and all the technological structures, and like it's like erased programs. That's what's going on with that side. But what I'm talking about is living energy, because shamans do work with living energy. And so we work with living energy, and I've talked of occult in the past and why it is occulted, because the reason it's occult, because there is a living energy trapped, and that's how it operates. And so this is what occult means. So now I'm talking about living energy in the now presence. This is your eternal beingness. And so this is the point where you begin and you end, right? Like I talk about. So this is the point, your eternal point. And so in this eternal point, like I talk about, it's like a infinity, but it's the living light structure. I don't know how to explain this, but anyway, I had it in my technological videos, or what was they scientific videos in the past, a few years ago. But anyway, what that energy does, it's a living energy. It's the chi, or whatever. It's the Tao. It's the there's so many names for it. And so when you look at this holiday time, or this solstice period, why it's all this. So because, and a lot of people will say, well, in what Christmas is also the other side, the negative side of that, the really dark side is also attached to it, because it's duality. It always is. And so for a shaman, for a true shaman, you always know that everything is duality, because it's as a positive and a negative. You have that awareness. All right. So this is why I say he's uncomfortable. So he's acting like an old grandpa. Do you guys hear him? Okay, I have nothing. My live chat, there is no, you guys not chatting, nobody chatting, nothing's going on. I don't know, no chat coming through. So I hope you guys, I'm still here. Somebody say something. Okay, I guess it doesn't work. So I'm not sure what to do. Okay, I'm just going to talk. All right, you guys. So, okay. So for shamans, here's toast to you, because you understand. And like I say, when I do this, I own my power, all of it, positive and a negative. And this is what I talk about, a 360-degree view. That's what it's about. It's being not in control of it, but the eternal point, how to get to eternal point without accepting yourself fully. As many of you had gone through that. And this is what healing path is all about, because ultimately it will lead you to your authentic self, to that eternal point of you where you as your in this. And this is what I want to get a little bit more in next year. For those of you that shamans, is I want to get into mechanics of aura, of a human aura, and what this is all about. And this is actually the mechanics of that and how it operates and what relates to in your aura field to each organ in your body and all of that stuff, because this is all shamanic work. For those of you that are interested in that, to know all of that, how spirit, soul, and body integrate into that one human being, creator being in human form, that eternal, so that eternal chi then at the core of your being, right? And so this is why I say that the path of healing is ultimately is this transformation, because ultimately you've accept your own true self, or you accept your own eternity. And that's why I laugh at ascension into oblivion, because that's exactly what ascension, any of the ascension teachings out there, 99.9% of ascension teachings are meant to be deadlight food source. Those are the tools that they milk a human being for the energy. Parasitic structures. Most of them are parasitic structures. And for shamans, and this is why I say for shamans, rejoice in 2020, because there's clarity not only for you, but what we're stepping into is that collective human beings on the collective level will start to consciously, that meaning what I'm saying is we're stepping in this into this stage. What does it really mean we're stepping into this stage? Well, it means that I'm messing my hair. It means that we're going to start consciously being aware of what's going on. And then, so now you step in as a shaman, and shaman is the one who accepted their own self as that eternal presence in here, in this reality, representing the eternity, or representing the God source, or how many that, or some people are those that operate like on their chi, or that connect or align their bodies with their universal chi that flows through universe, which is the same way. And then it goes even beyond. I'm not going to go into the onions of the universe, because it really has no relation to the eternal unfoldment of a human being that's going through a spiritual evolution here. How does knowing how many dimensions are in this universe help a human being to unfold their own soul in this reality? And you will now understand and see the difference. But at the same time, this is what I talk about. You can't have blinders and see what's out there. And all you can do is you do the math. You look like I've told you, there is all these clowns out there presenting all this stuff. Ascension, aliens, this just as. So you never accept yourself as eternal being. So you never operate on that spark of eternity or the Christ consciousness that is within you, right? Because then there is those that I said of the parasitic nature that are here that are anti-human agenda. This is an anti-human agenda that those people run because they need to feed that parasitic structure. And that's what they're doing. And most of them, like I've been talking about, and those are the ones that I investigate, they're doing it for paycheck. And so, and what are we as like called us in the past, Earth Intelligence Agency, those of us that do this out of true honor. There is no honor when you do something and you call it honorable action, but you do it for paycheck. There is no honor in that. And so it's very easy because those that are here have done the work, like I said, of accepting that eternity within self. That's the self-attainment. And then you can unfold your soul. And so for you, this is what I talk about. 2020 is going to be very messy. So it's a storm thing. It's going to be messy. Oh, it's a shitstorm. But in the eye of the storm, and this is what I talk about, this is where those that operate on that eternity within those kind of frequency, if they're running their reality through that, they're in the eye of the storm. Those are the collective, or those that, I talk about the 10% of human consciousness that we're going to certainly get to a point in this. And this is going to be sometimes during this quickening period, then where collective human consciousness will get up to 10% of acceptance. And this is what I've talked about, all these stages that we're going through. 7 stages of human collective healing that I've talked about in 2014. And so those stages are all have to, and so this is the acceptance. And so imagine for those of you that now have gone through your own personal healing and you've accepted your eternal self, and now you operate as that creator being in human form, and you've aligned your soul, and so your soul can only unfold through spirit. So through that presence, through that living energy, as I talk about. And this is why I talk about the major thing that connects every shamanic, true shamanic teaching out there, or true shamanic practice out there, would always talk about living energy and living presence and unique and authentic human being and individual attainment with everything. And so healing, I've talked in the past of this as being healing path, but in a way, when you go through it yourself, eventually what you do, you've accept all your negative, you would then get to the point, like I said, to where you're capable through your own eternal spark restructure your own external reality, and then there are you running everything in alignment with your eternal beingness here in this reality. And this is what that alignment is. It gives you that eye of the storm view and perspective, or the 360 degrees where you stand there in the pillar. You are the pillar of creation, because you are the pillar, and that's what it's all about. You're the pillar. And that's energetically, and same thing with individual auras. And then each layer in an individual aura then has an organ within a body. And we talked about 7 glands, but then there is other things. And so I'm going to go into that in 2020 a lot, because this is for those of you that work on this shamanic level. And now you'll gain this clarity on how the 3 worlds, and so it all goes about the 3. And so we're going to work a lot on aligning, since I talk about that, it's going to be coming into conscious level on the collective level. So then what's going to be happening then to the shamans is you're going to have this knowledge that you're going to be capable and able to share it with those that are going to be consciously starting to gain, or they'll start being aware of this things, or in the awareness is going to be present right there for them to be there. And who are those people that awareness that present here? Are those the ones that this you, the shamans around the world, the 13th tribe of human beings of all colors, of all nations, of all tribes around the world? They'll come together. And that what it's meant is that, and many people say it's that big, Christ consciousness activation, or whatever they would want to call it. But that's that conscious awareness of your own eternal self within. And that's ultimately is coming to, and then when that awareness hits humanity on a collective level, you guys, what happens? Dancing, dancing, dancing in the eye of the storm. And we can do it together too. And this is what ultimately is happening, because we are doing it together. And so this is why I've talked about all these initiations that you can do right now, and all your initiations, because you from that perspective, from being the pillar of creation that you are. And so this is your shamanic work. This is who you are then. And then everything, like I said, just as your aura is an expression, it's all vibrations, it's all frequencies. And so Merry Christmas, you guys. So beautiful. 2020 is going to be so beautiful, because there is nothing that's dark could stand, because we've reached the point on the collective level here. And that's why I am so excited. And so thank you guys. I hope that in this year you have the ability to express your joy, because ultimately you are the expression of that joy, and that eternity and recognition of that eternal self is what gives you the ability to see then how you can contribute your gifts, as I say, because your individual gifts. And so and so this year, next year, this is what I talk about. I'm gonna talk more about how we are here creator beings, and how we expand and unfold our own power, and because we're empowered now, and our mission here is, it truly is and now I've been able to express truly and said, it was always for little ones to liberate human consciousness from the enslavement, because of the abuse, and stop the cycle of abuse on every level. that's been happening in this reality. And so ultimately, now I'm at the point to where it's 2020, and I've been talking about this for more than 5 years, and I'm at the point where even that is, I can say it right now in just what, 2 sentences, and the awareness is there about what's. And so, what I want to say is just that I've seen so much growth and so much change, and I've seen honor returning. And so I have so much to celebrate, I feel like, because there was a lot of times that it has not been an easy path. It's been difficult to get here, but I wouldn't change one little thing about it. I wouldn't change one little thing about it, because every stone that I myself tripped over, you know, everything that I've done, the one thing I can say, I've done it from my heart. I've done it with honor, because like I said, I knew that mission was so important. And so my life here was very important to me. So I wanted to bring that to the surface. And I think this last 5 years, as much as I've been doing so much talking about, and now to be able to sit here and say it in few sentences that we are there. We're there, you guys. We are there. We are there, and it's just so amazing. And so this is why I say, I know it's going to be a storm, and there's a lot of shit's going to be flying around, and then it's going to drop, and then there's going to be sort of a deep breath that we're going to be able to take on that level, on that big picture level, on the global scale, maybe you can say that. But we're going to be able in this year to do that. And that just such a relief, and this is what I say, it's just such a relief, because when you're here to work for the liberation of human consciousness, because it's been enslaved. And so, and that you're here as the spiritual warrior, and you're fighting for the spirit, for the souls of the little innocent children. But you have to do it in the spiritual world, and you have to do it while you're constantly under attack in your physical. And I said that my body consciousness, and every one of you have been under so much attack in this reality. And this is why I started with this as healing, because all of that had to be pushed out, forced out of your aura, out of your being. It needed to be space dusted on that individual level. And so I went through it publicly and had to do it. And so this is my thing too. And so I do this publicly too. And I go with it, through it, and through this realizations at the same time. And just like the first time, because these journals are actually kind of in a way very similar to what I've done in 2014 with my original videos. It's just, it is what it is. It's in the living presence. And this is why I say I never will submit to any of the dead light teachings. I respect all the metaphors. I respect all cultures around the world. I respect all prophecies from around the world. But what I'm here to tell you is that I'm experiencing. I'm experiencing this here. I'm experiencing this awareness. I'm experiencing this living energy in the now moment. I'm living it. And so that's why I don't need to accept it. I don't need to attach to anything else. When you have the living presence, that eternal spark, that eternal flame, or when you know you the dragon in the spiritual world, when you know who you are, then. So those of us that know who we are and know the mission, so now we can say that here's to liberation of human consciousness in 2020. And this is what I'm dancing to that liberation. So this is my toast to the liberation of human consciousness in 2020. So we're going to dance in that eye of the storm. And so this is that liberation then, is that this is the intent. So this is the intent for all of human consciousness. So the totality of human consciousness. So this is the intent, is that we're going to liberate. And so it's not that we're going to liberate, it's already is, because we are in the eye of the storm. We are the liberation. Because this is what, when you liberate your own eternal spark, and then you're able to unfold here in this reality, this is what happens. You can celebrate the liberation. And so I thank you guys so much for this year, and for all these years, for being here and going with me through this path. And it's just been so beautiful to know how so many of you around the world, it's just so, because right now I can feel so much more on the collective level of what's happening. There is so much works happening. And this is what I talk about, that it's going to kind of unfold here as this shitstorm, because there's all this shit got loose in the spiritual world. So it's now going to be dropping here and manifesting. Okay. So, but I say, if you're not, if you think you doing an honorable action and protecting a parasitic structure, then you're that shit flying in the shitstorm. I've said that before. So I have nothing to say to those people. I only hear say thank you, and I'm in so much gratitude to all the shamans, all the spiritual warriors, all of the ones that been here and know what's at stake. Because when the human consciousness is at stake, your consciousness is at stake. And this is the oneness that none of them want to talk about. And this is why we fight. We fight for ourselves ultimately. We fight for our own consciousness. It's not fighting, it's what we do. We stand strong. We're the warriors. And this is most of you why here we're, because this was always a spiritual war. And so you can say that we won, if you want to look from that perspective, that we won this long ago, in that before we even showed up here. So those that are still waiting for some aliens to show up and fix them, there's nothing they can fix. But we together, those that are aware, know, and know and aware that you're going through your own unfoldment and you're experiencing this quickening, meaning you're experiencing this flame of creation. And so I'm gonna make this short one today. I just wanted to say that I really, really appreciate all of you around the world, because I see you as this beautiful lights that are just this beautiful energy that surrounds this. It's here, it's all here, and you guys are all here, and then so it's living energy and it's beautiful, and I thank you so much for being here. And it's a beautiful time. Celebrate this intent, this celebrations intent. Already we're going to put past in the past and leave it there and let it be there. In the future, we know what we're creating, we know what we're here to do, and we did it, and that's the end of it. Whatever needed to be done, and whatever. And so, like, talking about the negative and what's the negative thing, it's going to be very negative. It's going to be very bad, and it's going to be very painful. Like I said, for a lot of people, 2020 is going to be very painful, because for many people in denial, and then as they're going to be coming out of denial, like I said, they're going to start to see. And truth hurts. Truth hurts. It just does. It does at first. And so, but there is that pain in people. It's like hitting rock bottom, right? With whatever, with anything, you got to see it for what it is, and accept that pain. And like with many people, what I talk about, like with shamanic healing, and I say, people said, you have to see that this is what it is. You got to look deeply into the problem. And so for those people that are right now like saying, okay, Lily, how do I work through this, and how do I intend still healing for myself if I haven't healed my physical body, if I'm still in pain? So go in from a different perspective now to look at how to align your body. Okay, you just, any pain that you feel, and now look at this as a symptom. Where is my symptom? And like I said, look into it. As soon as you feel any negative emotion, use that to your advantage. Immediately investigate that emotion. Immediately get to the core of it. Immediately. And if you feel like that, and if you found the core, where's the negative core, you're going to get to it and then pull it out, and then pull it out. And so it's going to hurt when you pull it out too. It's going to hurt, and it's going to turn a lot of things upside down and change a lot of things. So, but in a way, when you look at from this perspective, and you're looking at when you're investigating that, whatever the feeling, and so now from that 360 degrees, and you don't have blinders, okay, because I feel here depressed a little bit, so I'm just gonna go and so for yourself when you do that. And so just investigate through the emotional body and through your rivers, and like I said, because that's your emotional body is your waters, and so this is what Aquarian age is all. It's magnified, or it's amplifying your water. So your water is then it becomes like a deuterium molecular. Okay, like you gain that. This is what's happening with that eternal power, or that chi. So eternal power then has the ability to unfold. Your soul has the ability to unfold through the living light that your own body produces here, right, through your chi portal. So or your universal bone, whatever, through your belly button. And so what happens is you're looking from a different perspective, and you don't have any blinders. So you can do is shortcut. You don't have to go through so much healing. What you can do is you just explore that feeling, and then you allow your body to consciously show you. And something like I talked about last time, I explored some anger, and boom, it got me to like abuse that, an abuse incident that happened that I totally forgot about it. And then it just came to my mind, and then I said, oh, okay, that's what it is. And then gone. And then it's like vacuum almost. Once you see it, and then and this is what I talk about, that vacuum is once you accept it, it's almost like it's easier to breathe. So this is why I say we are going to be able to take the breath on the collective level, that it's not going to be so much pressure, because now we're on the other side. If you guys might remember, in 2017, I talk about, we're coming, and this is what I talk about, that peak in that during the quickening period. Okay. During that quickening period that I've talked about, we're going to kind of peak to where we're going to then, sort of, it gets easier, because now we're going to come into implementing or manifesting correction timeline, as I talked about in the past. So we're coming into manifesting now. So it's going to be manifesting. But first, before we can manifest all that peace and all of that stuff, that's why I said, okay, forget about the ascension into oblivion. Let's forget about that, because we have a mess to clean up first. And this is why I say we're dancing. We're definitely dancing in the eye of the storm, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be uprooted. And then all of that stuff that's been uprooted already, it's got to come out, and then it's got to drop. And then before we can manifest the reality that is in alignment with the law of the land and law of the universe and law of the creation, and you go on and on and on. And so this is the eternal unfoldment, then becomes the correction timeline. And so eternal unfoldment of soul becomes the correction timeline here. Well, there's going to be a lot of trash after the storm. So you can't pass that. You can't jump. This is not that. This is, we're doing this. This is how we're kind of like, oh, if you want to think of this as learning how to create, yeah, we are learning how to create. So we're doing it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So imagine that, you guys. Do you remember how excited you are when you were allowed to do, creative things, whatever it is that you like? You're excited, you have passion about. So this is what we're going to see a lot more, because these are the energies of the new age. They're here already. They're manifesting. And so we're manifesting them. And this is why I said, like Native Americans had said, this, the 13th tribe, the prophecies are saying that this is the tribe that will bring the new age. And what they talk about will bring, meaning what? Well, will, through the eternal unfoldment, will in this creation. And this is the correction timeline. So this is pretty much what I'm talking about. So we'll see. So it depends where you are. If you were, working for propaganda machine and, and doing all that stuff, so it's going to catch up to you, and, you're not going to have a lot of fun, flying around on the outskirts of that shitstorm. But if you're in the eye, you're in the eye, and we're dancing in the eye in 2020. So, you guys, so I thank you so much. And so probably I'm going to be a little busy. It's like I said, this Christmas, all of a sudden surprises started showing up. Sunday night, Ben, my son that lives in Florida, just called and said, I'll be there tomorrow morning. So he showed up yesterday morning. And so I'm definitely dancing because I didn't know if he's gonna come or what's gonna happen. So, for those of you that remember Ben, he showed up, my Benjamin, and so they're here for Christmas, and he showed up with his girlfriend too. So, this is beautiful, and so we just started celebrating early, and so a lot of things going on, and so it's really beautiful. So, I'm going to be having a lot of fun with my tribe here, my family tribe, and so my friends. Yesterday, hang out with my best friend too. So I am celebrating, already starting and just enjoying every minute of it. And so tonight we're gonna have a Christmas Eve dinner. And so it's a beautiful life, and I'm just loving every minute of it, every second of it. And you guys online here that been with me, happy holidays, everybody. You guys have been part of my life too in this last 5 years, and it's just been great. And without you guys out here, I probably would be a whole different path for me. And like I said, I wouldn't change one bit about it, because joy and happiness is what I'm experiencing right now, and I intend to experience it all year long in 2020. So here's to 2020, and happy holidays, everyone. Enjoy 2020. May the force, eternal force, be with you all. May that flame burn high and wide, and may your reality be as beautiful as you imagine. So thank you, everybody, every shaman, every human being, every soul out there. The presence of eternity, may it be with you. May it be with you in 2020 and in all of eternity. Love you all. Love you guys. Zuzi, you want to say happy holidays? Oh, happy holidays, everybody. Zuzi, say happy holidays. Kisses, kisses, kisses to everybody. Kisses. Happy holidays, everyone. We're dancing, dancing, whoo, dancing, whoo. Dancing, dancing. He loves to dance. We're dancing. I do dancing with him like this. All right. Bye, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy holiday. Happy hookah. Happy hookah. Happy hookah. We're going to do hookah. Zuzi. Happy hookah.